Hello everyone, the Nerdy Steve here, and today I will be featuring a mono red Fires of Invention deck and Explorer. The list is in the description below. I'm going to talk a little bit about the deck and some of the sideboard, though it is a Karn the Great Creator deck, so there's not a lot of room there. Then we'll play some matches, so let's go. First and foremost, I want to thank Jacob for commenting and suggesting this list. If you have anything you would like to see being played and featured on this channel, just let me know because I am making a video basically every day and I am running out of ideas very, very quickly. But regardless, this is a mono red control deck. To put it lightly, it's a really, really hard deck to describe. And so the showcase card we want to talk about is Fires of Invention, which is an enchantment that was banned in Standard. And Fires of Invention is you can only cast spells during your turn, and no more than 2 spells each turn. But you can cast spells with mana value less than or equal to amount of lands you control for free. So, what Fire's Invention does is, if you cast Fire's Invention on turn 4, that means you can cast another spell for 4 mana for free. So you can do Fires of Invention, then cast Chandra or Karn. And then on the following turns, you can, if you play a 5th land, you can Cavalier of Flame or Golos for free, and just, you get to, like, basically double the amount of mana you normally would get to use during your turn. And so this deck wants to leverage the Fires of Invention, but it's also a Karn the Great Creator deck, which Karn's an interesting planeswalker where if your opponent has a lot of artifacts, it stops them completely. But Karn also allows us to fetch artifacts from our graveyard and put them into our hand. And our fetch stuff from our sideboard and put them into our hand. And our sideboard has a lot of cards. There's Tormod's Crypt for graveyard removal, same thing with Unlicensed Hearse. There is Pithing Needle to deal with specific planeswalkers. Crucible of Worlds to rebuy your lands. You know, there's just a lot of different things to put in your sideboard. And they're all here, and I'm not going to go over all of them, what they do. But the benefit of a Karn, the Great Creator, is you have this a lot of versatility in your sideboard, and you can change it from if you think you need something more or you don't need something for the metagame that you're currently facing on the ladder. So that's what makes also this deck particularly powerful, is the ability with Karn to find what you need. And because of Fires of Invention, you can cast Karn the Great Creator, find the artifact that you need, and play it for free. So there's a lot of good stuff going on there. But other than that, there is Kiki, a reflection of Kiki Jiki, which, you know, ramps you. It provides a lot of threats. You have Bonecrusher Giant, which is early interaction and removal. Same thing with Strangle and Lightning Strike. So you can also burn out your opponent, or you want to maybe kill their creatures early on. And then, you know, once you do that, you get to use Karn to find the stuff you need to end the game very, very quickly. And there's also a very interesting Cleansing Wildfire in this deck. So Cleansing Wildfire is destroy target land. Its controller may search their library for a basic land, put it onto the battlefield tapped, then shuffle, and then you draw a card. Now, Cleansing Wildfire does two things. First, if your opponent is a deck with very few non-basic lands, it can just put people out of the game. You destroy their land, they can't search anything, and then you draw a card, right? It puts people behind, and it can really, really do wonderful things for you in that situation. However, we also have a card called Cascading Cataracts, which is an indestructible land. So if you want to, on turn 2, you can Cleansing Wildfire your own Cascading Cataracts to destroy it, but it won't be destroyed, but you do get to search your library for a mountain and put it on the battlefield. So it is a ramp effect that also draws you a card, which can be very powerful in this deck, because once you get Fire of Invention out on the battlefield, you want to be using your mana like as often as you can. Now you don't use a mana with Fires of Invention, but if you do Fires of Invention on turn 3, that means you can cast a Fable of the Mirror Breaker on turn 3 as well. And you're basically, you want a double spell for the rest of the game to overwhelm your opponent as quickly as you possibly can. And Cleansing Wildfire does that. And let's just go to one of the other things in the sideboard is we have Anger of the Gods and Fry as our non-artifact cards in the sideboard. And what they do is Anger of the Gods is good against the creature-heavy decks that can potentially overwhelm you very quickly and very early before you get the full advantage of Fires of Invention. And then we also have Fry, which can deal with mainly Teferi to, you know, a counterspell. You are mainly a sorcery spell deck, and so if your opponent just holds their counterspells and doesn't let you resolve anything, and then resolve a Teferi, which will just overwhelm you, you need ways to deal with Teferi. You need ways to deal with Narset or whatever they have in a way that, you know, can't be countered and interacted with. That's also partly why Chandra is in the main deck, because Chandra is good in those instances where you can't really resolve anything. And with that being said, let's go play a couple of matches and see how it goes. Okay, we have Karn on turn 4, so we need another land, but we can Shatterskull Smashing, and then we have red mana, so maybe this is fine. We can deal with anything that our opponent does on turn 1 and turn 2, most likely. Uh-oh. Oh, thank God we got an untapped land. Let's Strangle it now. Right? And now what can we get with Karn is a real good question. I think we want to do the Pyromancer now. It makes their Wizard's Lightning or Wizard Bolt. Costs 3 mana. And we're probably going to do it anyway because we don't want to take damage. So, interesting. Now, we could Bonecrusher that, but if our opponent has a response, that wouldn't be good. So I'm just going to do that tapped there because we want to do it as removal, right? But we also want to, on the 5th turn, not take damage to cast our Cavalier of Flames. We're going to take damage here, and now let's stomp the Pyromancer. We're not targeting Soulscar Mage because, oh, our opponent, okay. Because if we targeted Soulscar Mage there, right, the Pyromancer, it would live. And we don't want that. So now, what can we get with Karn? Here, that's good in this mono-red matchup. No. God of Pharaoh statue could be okay. Maybe Skysovereign is removal. Interesting. We don't have a lot of really good things here. So maybe if we get Shadowspear. I'm not as in love with getting Shadowspear there, because I doubt we're going to have the time to equip it to Cavalier, but, you know. It might be fine. It's also really, really big, so if it does live. So what does this do? You may discard any number of cards, then draw that many. So let's keep the Shadowspear in our hand. We also have to be aware that Soulscar Mage can eventually kill the Cavalier if our opponent has multiple removal spells. That's, like, kind of fine for us, because that means it's not going to our face. But it is something that you know, they can kill eventually, maybe. Though if we get one attack with the Shadowspear on the Cavalier, we're in a really, really good spot. And that's what I assumed was gonna happen. So now... we can do that, equip it. Let's see what our opponent does here. And I think we gain a lot of life. We get to Fable. And equip it here. Our opponent is kind of in a rough spot. So let's hope they do not draw out of anything, please. I'm assuming this means that they don't have any 1-mana removal. Otherwise, our opponent would have killed it and attacked with more stuff. Okay, that makes sense. Well, then it also wouldn't have mattered. See that? And I don't think our opponent's going to have any spell that can deal 5 damage to a single creature main deck. So our Cavalier of Flame should be good enough, and it is. And with this, I think we do want Anger of the Gods. Cleansing Wildfire probably isn't particularly wonderful, because it's only going to be used to ramp us. And it can kill a Valakut, or Ramunap Ruins, and a Den of the Bugbear. But it's not a particular compelling thing to do on turn 2. And I think we'd rather just have Anger of the Gods. Okay. This is kind of decent again. Fires of Invention hopefully will be very, very good here. We get to Lightning Strike the get you Lava Runner. Scar Mage. What is our opponent doing here? We'll take this damage. Or we won't. This means the Soulscar Mage can't live through the Lightning Strike. And so next turn we're going to Fable. And hopefully the following turn we'll discard 2 cards and get an untapped land, so we can Fires of Invention and do other stuff. Well, that's what we're thinking ahead to. Alright, there we go. Beautiful. Again, any instant or sorcery that is targeted at our creatures, not at us, we are in love with. Okay, we have that. And then we can Lightning the Giant. And this is like the part of the great reason why Fires of Invention is amazing. Is next turn we get to cast Cavalier and Mirror Breaker. And it's just... okay. Without tapping out anything, by the way. We do Fable. We can give everything haste. And I'm assuming our opponent needs to kill the Reflection here, because if the Reflection gains haste, we get to then target the Cavalier and attack for a lot of damage. We're still attacking for a lot anyway. Oh. Okay. Throw-in War. That's kind of fine, because... I mean, is it fine? I think we're fine. I think we're fine. Let's discard a Cataracts. Wanna stomp that. Cast it for free. Activate Den of the Bugbear. Eight. So even if our opponent can kill the Bonecrusher Giant, we still block. I think... Or no, we don't even need to block, right? No, we're fine. Oh, we could have just... I think no. Yeah, we should have just used the treasure. Because if our opponent uses Den of the Bugbear, we would have had enough mana, I think, to use Field of Ruin on it. We win anyway this turn. Because we just deal 6 to our opponent. Block. GG. Fires of Invention saved us how much mana? Okay, Quody, a Gigantha deck, which could mean one of two things. Jund Sacrifice or Niv-Mizzet. There we go. We do get to do the cool Cleansing Wildfire play. Or I guess it could be Black-Red Sack. So we're going to target that. And this will ramp us. Then we get to Field of Ruin, Chandra, Uptick, and Cleansing Wildfire, the Cascading Cataracts again.
I know I'm on. Yup.
Oh god, no. Oh. I meant to add mana. No! No! Alright, everyone. I meant to add mana, not exile the top card of my library. Uh-oh. That could be very, very bad. You know, even when I talk out my plays ahead of time, sometimes you make mistakes. We're fine. We're still fine. Okay. Let's do that.
This'll be easy.
Cleansing Wildfire it. What we really want is Karn would be amazing right now. Because then we can find... Wait, what's in our sideboard? We have cards we want in our sideboard, right? Unlicensed Hearse is good. Godpharaoh Statue is also pretty good, actually. No, in this version we don't have Grafdigger's Cage.
You will be a pile of ashes!
I think I want to get rid of both of these.
You will regret this. I don't need this. See ya.
And now, what do we do here? So this is going to enter play tapped. Do we want a Cavalier of Flames 3 cards or just 2? Let's do 2. We'll keep 1 Chandra. Alright, Fires of Invention is going to be helpful. Okay, there we go. So, Karn is good here because it stops Witch's Oven. Which is wonderful. Really, really, really good stuff there. Now what do we want, though? Alright, GG. Yeah. Okay. I'll take that. Oh. This is a hand we probably shouldn't have kept. We need 2 more lands to do anything. Well, that helps. The Fable of the Mirror Breaker helps a lot. Because we can discard what we don't need or don't use. There we go. Never mind. Perfect hand. I'm glad I kept. Just don't have any interaction, opponent. Please. Uh-oh. Alright. Well, unfortunate for us. We did not draw that 4th land. Elite Guard Mage. Okay. Memory Deluge? We'll take that. I mean, it's better than a lot of other stuff they could have done, right? We're gonna get Karn, and then I will get a land with Karn. The Treasure Vault. Now I don't know what else am I gonna get next turn? Is the question. There are a lot of things we can get. Bay of Wishes. What are you wishing for? No idea. That's fine. Ugin? 3-4-0. I don't like that at all. Let's Golos here. See what our opponent has. Disruption. You can always name Ugin. We can, like, get Pithing Needle. One, two, three, four, five, six, 7. Our opponent can Yorion. Oh. Can't say I was anticipating that one. No blocks.
I will return.
Everything our opponent does costs 2 more, which is a lot. Wow, memory deluge, that's funny. And a 4th hold card. So we can do this. This card. 2. Activate, give everything haste, attack. Our opponent has to block here, otherwise they die to God Pharaoh's Gift. Oh, okay. GG. I'll take it. Okay, white, blue. Maybe we want Fry. But even then, we didn't see anything that is particularly fryable. Maybe it's better than Strangle, though. Probably should have done that. Okay. We're hoping Fable can do the thing again, where it wins you a game. Birth, okay. Birth is good. Let's Cleansing Wildfire a Plains. I'm sure our opponent has tons of basic lands in their deck. Because of Birth and it's an 80 card deck, so we're less likely to you know, do that. Oh, but interesting. They have to have more than 2. And now the clock. That's a lot of mana. Oh no, they have Fabled Passage, so they definitely have more. Okay. I was right. Birth again? Okay. I kind of want to discard a Lightning Strike and a Bone Daddy. We're doing this because I think I just wanna... Oh, fires would have been so good. I want to, if we can get Chandra to 7 sooner rather than later, that's what we want to do. Alrune's Epiphany? Okay. Can't say I was particularly planning around that card. Oh, Karn can kill the walls, right? I think so. So let's see what Chandra can get.
Oh, this is gonna hurt.
This stops Midnight Clock from happening. Oh, it's non-creature artifact? Okay. So I wasn't correct. But let's get a Pithing Needle so I can name Ugin. It's Ugin the Spirit Dragon? Okay. Another Epiphany. Very unfortunate. Okay. Oh, we don't like that. Could be a number of very, very terrible things for us.
There are greater battles to fight.
Destroy each non-land perm. Ooh. Let's add that. You what? Yeah, let's do that. Because this means we can, what? Copy? Create another token of it? We pump everything. And because when this dies, it will now deal 3 damage to our opponent. Which we, of course, love a lot. Then I think we do this. It's, I mean, we're not doing a lot of damage, though, in the grand scheme of things, because our opponent just has tons of blockers. Another Epiphany would be so bad. This is where we kind of wish we had the 3 damage to everything, but I don't think we can really play around Epiphany. Like, that's not a card we're gonna sideboard for. Doomscar, okay. And that's fine. Now, what is our opponent getting? This midnight clock is gonna go off, which is not great for us. Kind of want to draw a land. Okay, our opponent draws a lot of cards. A lot. Another a Doomscar to kill Golos. Okay. And a Narset. Oh, this is actually really good. Because we get to Fires. Do that for 0. Activate it once. Give everything haste. Use Kiki Jiki on it. Attack our opponent. When this dies, it's lethal. GG. Thank you for watching me play some Fires of Invention and Explore. This deck was surprisingly a lot better than I thought it would be. And I don't know why I thought it would just be like a really interesting, fun, casual deck. No. Thank you for watching me play some Fires of Invention and Explore. This deck surprised me with how consistent and how good and how strong it was, but it makes sense. Fires of Invention is just such a powerful card. It gives you so much to do for so little mana, and with specifically Cavalier of Flames and Karn, allowing you to have more things to cast, and with Cavalier of Flames, an activated ability to do with the mana when you aren't using it to cast your spells is just very, very, very powerful. And this deck can win out of nowhere. It really, really surprised me with how much the reflection of Kiki Jiki copying Cavalier Flame killed my opponents, and was like, that was amazing and awesome, and I really want to do it more often. So yeah, this was cool. And with all that being said, if you haven't already, you should totally like, comment, or subscribe. Again, this deck was literally posted in these comments because someone wanted me to play it. So if you want something to be played, I can't promise everything, but I can certainly try. And you can watch me stream live at twitch.tv/thenerdysteve. And with all that being said, I hope you have a wonderful morning, afternoon, or evening wherever you are, and thanks for watching. Bye.